Mhm. Hey, YouTubers. How are you today? Um, I'm worn the fuck out, I'll tell you. Been a long week. Um, I've seen this coming. They're talking about banning um, gas engines or whatever. Switching to just um, electric. I talk about Stan Myers and the water car technology all the time. Stan Myers, of course, was a guy in the 90s who made an invention that you could convert gas cars to water just by changing the spark plugs and the ground wires and fuel. Um, and then if you ran your exhaust pipe to your fill tube in your gas tank, you just stayed full. And you'd never have to clean the device, or very rare. Uh, Otherwise, if you just let it go out the pipe, then you're making clean drinking water out the pipe, and you're you're also um, you're making clean drinking water out the pipe, and you'd have to clean the device. But it was really simple. It wasn't like super complicated. The cleaning of it, the device was super complicated, but the cleaning of the device was really easy, and the device looked pretty strong. So um, there was a fair long rod on it that you wouldn't want to. That was a modified one though, but he had got because there were certain motors that they wouldn't fit on. Anyways, of course, he tried to get the American government off of their dependency on foreign oil. He was going to give it to them for free, and they killed him for it. He was murdered at a Rothschild dinner party in 2013. Um, so, fuck off with that argument. Just shut the fuck up about green, all that fucking shit, and solar, and all that fucking wind and everything else. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to fucking hear about it anymore. Just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You stupid fuckers. And there's old me coming out because it's so stupid. Fuck, that pisses me off so bad. And if you were to take and fill a warehouse with those motors, you could make clean drinking water for a whole fucking city and the energy for that city. And the reason you had to change the ground wire is because the ground wire, we go right to the block on most cars, but the block actually produces energy like an alternator when you fucking switch over to the water. So you have to put your ground wire to your frame, and you fucking put a wire from your block to your battery, and it charges your battery. So if you were to um, have that warehouse full of engines, or just big, huge fucking engines with that technology in it, to run a city, um, and make the drinking water for the city, the engine, the power coming off the block, you could use also to help power the city or to fucking power the warehouse that you're using or whatever. Because you'd need other things there, right? And you'd have to do maintenance and all that kind of shit. Um, yeah. So it's just it's a non-argument. It's a non-conversation. Because you're not talking. It's just like every other conversation that you stupid people have. But this one's, they're all right out in front of you. And you just constantly ignore the solution and argue over two non-solutions. Solar or wind or fucking fossil fuels and coal. And it's like, why not water? Why you fucking using all this dirty shit and pulling it out of the ground and mining cobalt and fucking everything else, and you're just killing the earth for no reason at all. You could be making clean water all the time, everywhere. Imagine every car making clean water. Your gas tank in a pinch would be drinking water in a new vehicle that had never had fuel in it. Right? If you fucking something like this, and you, which I'm looking for them if I could find them. May God please bless me with the Stan Myers technology. Anyway, and then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. If just imagine the Earth, how healed it would be, especially if we were just right into our own exhaust all the time. We wouldn't be putting any extra into the atmosphere, because that's the big argument about water. Was the globalists or whatever, and they'd say before, they'd say, wow, if you burned water, you'd just be fucking still making global warming, because you're still putting extra molecules in the atmosphere that the sun will heat up, because the sun's so far away it's going to overheat all that extra carbon, water, whatever. That's their argument. That's another non-argument. That no, it wouldn't, because with water cars, you just right back into your car. Problem solved. And you never need to fucking fuel up. Maybe once a year, there'd be some water loss in there, and you'd notice that your gas gauge would go down, and you just go put a couple gallons of water in there. Maybe clean your device while you're at it, and make sure everything's good. Get distilled water. Put that in there so that it was already had all the minerals and shit out of it. Away you go. So, I get angry about it. I can't help it. I say all these things till I'm blue in the face. And just on deaf ears most of the time. People never start a conversation about it with other people like you should. Like, you hear something like that, it should stick with you. You should go research it, and then you should start talking about it, and talk about it to everybody you know. If we all knew about it, and we were all saying, what the fuck? And as angry and pissed off as I am about it, if you guys were all that angry about it, and you guys don't have any self-control, if all the people out there, like that are having sex and going to the bars and doing all this shit, if they were all as fucking pissed off about this subject as they should be, we'd have the fucking water technology. They'd just give it to us. They'd have to. They changed the design of cars so that the technology won't work. They put in a coil pack so that it's not a distributor on most cars anymore. And the technology won't work on something past like a, whatever it is, 2010 or whatever. And it's probably before that. I don't really know when they changed it. Probably like 2021. Anyway. And then killed him before he could change and upgrade his technology, because you know that's what he was doing. if you watch the interviews and like listen to the man talk and stuff like that, he's like, no, God gave me this shit in a dream, and he told me to share it with the world. Like, killed him. We let them kill him. He was a fucking saint. He was touched by an angel, literally. Probably like Michael or fucking Gabriel came down and put that in his fucking brain while he slept. And he knew it. He knew it was God. He knew it was an angel. He knew it was delivered to him. For us. And he wasn't the first. He was the best. But he wasn't the first. There was all kinds of people in the past. We've had water cars. The water car was invented the same time the gas car was. And they said, the gas is better. It's more power, easier, blah, blah, blah. And scrapped the water and went with gas. Same thing with free energy for power, hydroelectric, right? Tesla made the Tesla coils that just convert static in the air to fucking power. And Edison made burning fuels and to make power. And they went with Edison. And scrapped Tesla. We got the little ball or whatever and shit like that. And you don't even really hear about Tesla in school. You'll never hear about Stan Myers in the fucking school. And then you guys all stick up for the fucking school board all the time. You know they lie to you. You know they lie to your kids. They've said, we don't call it lies. We call it misrepresentations. That's still lying. Hello? Wake up! It is the Matrix. In a sense. That's how asleep you are. That's what it feels like. You guys are so far fucking gone. So linked up. All the answers are right here. There's a whole other world. God gave us everything. Nobody should be hungry or any of the shit. You should be able to, if you wanted to, no problem, to just say, I'm going to convert my son is I'm going to just not donate him to the Torah. You're just going to study the Bible. And you're going to study all the biblical writings and all the Old Testament, and you're going to study all the New Testament, and you're going to learn all about Jesus, and you're going to spend the next 12 years of your life just learning all that stuff. And you'll learn math and English and Hebrew and all kinds of stuff. But you'd be able to just recite all of Palms, Psalms, and the knowledge that you'd have, the understanding, your frequency would be so high, you'd be a superhero. Literally. There's no other way to describe it. That's what it is. When you read the fucking Jewish writings, those guys, their frequency was so fucking high, and they understood so much, they were superheroes. Abraham was 70 fucking men when he needed to be. Just with his faith. He told his whole army, You guys just wait here then if you're scared. I don't blame you. He went down there and he fucking took the city with him and one guy. And that other one guy had the same kind of faith. And, I forget what he was. He was 20 men or something like that. But, so, and they went down there and just saved his fucking nephew, or his son, sorry, Lot. Decimated the fucking armies in the cities. And then Jacob and his 12 sons did the same thing to multiple armies and multiple cities. And they fought for days. Each man would go in and fucking hold back the entire army, Judah and Jacob, by themselves. Right? They say the roar of Judah, the lion, would just send a bunch of men to flight, but also like right to your bones, shatter, break bones, fuck you right up. You're gone. He doesn't have to deal with these anymore. Like the stuff you don't understand is certainly astronomical. Even the people that do, they think it's Oracle. Like they've Bible scholars don't even know the Book of the Jews. Preachers that don't know that shit. Oh, you're told not to read it. It's just Jewish stuff. Only the Jews need to know that. Do you know how stupid that is? And they're not even the real Jews. And that's why they don't want you to read it. Because you realize all the bullshit and the lies and stuff. Everything you think. Everything that you fucking think. The world, your cosmological beliefs, everything. It's all just a mess. And usually, you're over here arguing about two things, and the answer's over there. 9 times out of 10. Oh, well, it could be this, could be that. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. No, it's this. No, it can't be that. Why? No, I just can't. We were told it can't. Somebody said so. That politician, and that teacher, and that scientist. Oh, where'd the teacher hear it? From another teacher. And where'd he learn it? From another teacher. Where'd he learn it? From another teacher. And where'd he learn it? From a priest. Catholic priest. Oh. What about all the rest of those things that you guys believe? Well, they all go back to the Catholic priest too. The whole heliocentric science actually dates back to its roots from a bunch of Jesuits. Oh, well, then it can't be a false religion, could it? Because Catholics are all about not being false religion. And that's the other thing. You're like, Catholics might be Mormons, maybe the Christians, maybe the Jews. No. No. The books, the writings, the energy, the universe, the air, the wind, the sun, all of it. Just look around, read, study, look around some more. let parts of yourself go. Accept other things. And then, all of a sudden, it'll just all start to click. And you'll never know for sure until you die, right? But we can know what we don't know. We're not sure about this, but I'm definitely sure about that. When it comes to heliocentrism, age of the Earth, evolution, we're 100% sure that can't happen. All tests and all science have disproven that theory, even though they just keep making bigger numbers. That's all. Because every time they come to a wall, that's all they do. Oh, well, it must have been another billion years. It's just another million. We just need a couple more trillion. It's like the deficit. It just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and it's always the super duper ingredient is time. Oh, time can do anything. Time is magic. You're so gullible. If you read about Alcoholics Anonymous, you'll find out that it takes the human brain 5 months to heal from one night of drinking, of getting drunk. Like, not inebriated drunk, but drunk. Probably take longer if you're total inebriated. So, take 5 months off, 6 months. That last month, that sixth one, the fifth one or whatever, that's the month that you're going to be clear of mind. Every time you feel like drinking, read a book. Not a storybook. Read a biblical book. I challenge you to prove me wrong. Right? I challenge you to prove that carbon dating has any validity in science by itself without the geologic timescale. And it does, but we don't use any of that validity. What we go to is the geologic timescale. So you can put carbon dating over there. Now, prove to me that the geologic timescale isn't circular reasoning and isn't in the wrong order 80.4% of the time. That's a big number. And even if it's 50, even if it was 20, we'd have a huge problem. Because they say, each era built a layer. And that each era was like 10,000 years, 20,000 years, 30,000 years, 40,000, 50,000, million. And then that's how it grows. And then during that era, these things lived, and there was whatever, these plants and these animals, and they were this size and this shape, and they did this and that. And then this 20,000 years was this era, and this and that and that and that. And death makes each layer, which is right against the Bible. Right away. So if you're a Christian, there you go, throw it away. That theory, you cannot abide to it. Sorry, no. Goes against God. Let every man be a liar before God. God does not lie. So you're a liar. You're just a man. case closed. Christians. Which is so frustrating. That we've let them in more than the Bible. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm just rambling, I think. It's a good ramble. But I'm running out of time, and I want to say have a good day. You like my shirt today? I met this guy. It was funny because when I was buying the shirt, he was standing right beside me, and I didn't know it was him, and he was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" And I just fucking walked away from him. And then later I was going back to get the shirt signed, and I was like, "Oh shit, I could have just got it signed. I didn't even know it was him." And I didn't chat the guy up. I wasn't on the ball that day. Anyway. Cracking. Have a good day, you guys. Read a book. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong about the geologic timescale. Prove me wrong about age of the Earth. Prove me wrong about the melabiotic, the soup they made, the primal soup or whatever, and that it couldn't survive in an oxygen environment, but it needed to live in an oxygen environment, and if you put it in water, it couldn't breed because the male and female molecules separated in water, and that it needed energy, like a blast of energy, in order to make it, but it would have killed it. And it had to be made in a non-oxygen environment, but then immediately put into the oxygen environment, but then it oxidized and died. So they never really made anything. And that all the missing links that are in the textbooks have been proven wrong or faulty. Like Lucy was found over like a kilometer of different space, and she was just a bunch of scattered bones, and Buddy placed it together, and it was mostly just a monkey that was that was tall, right? And like we see tall people, and tall monkeys, and little monkeys, and big that's in everything, right? It's just not a missing link. It was just a big, tall monkey, not a short, missing link person. And that's with all of them. They're all foolish like that. Anyway, and I could go on and on, I guess. The carbon dating thing, that we don't use the mathematical equation, work it backwards to age the universe. Check that out. Because it is a mathematical equation, and you could work it backwards and find out exactly when carbon dating began, but it would prove the universe to be too young, so they don't use that, and they make up some stupid excuse. Go and look up the excuse. Tell me what it is. I don't know. Have a good day.